Hi everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're surviving and thriving. This week's theme is the future. We're still in the middle of coronavirus shutdown, and we don't know how long this is going to last. Scientists say that we won't be fully safe until we have a vaccine, and that we may not have a vaccine for another year and a half. On the other hand, some good news came out yesterday, Monday, that scientists have found a vaccine that protects monkeys from coronavirus. And the key thing to do is to find out if this vaccine is safe for people too. So we've got some good news on the horizon. But we're still in the middle of the shutdown, and we're dealing with heavy reality. Several of my friends have friends who have coronavirus, and at least one of my students, whom you all know, has a loved one who has passed away from coronavirus. And also, at least one student has a father who is a doctor who is dealing with patients who have coronavirus. So this is pretty heavy stuff that we're dealing with right now. So one way to deal with it is for us to pray for each other. And I hope that you're all, whatever your belief system is, you can pray, you can meditate. And one way we can get through it for ourselves is to think about the future. I really hate going to the dentist. And when I go to the dentist, I say to myself, when this is all over, I'll go for a hike, or I'll go to a movie, or I'll go get an ice cream cone. So what are your plans for the future? After the coronavirus shutdown is over, or 10 years from now? And what do you think about the future of planet Earth? What do you think planet Earth is going to look like 10 years from now? That's our theme for this week. In this week's lecture, there are 36 slides, and I'm going to ask you to take 36 notes. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. And what I want you to do is to jot down at least a word for each slide, a sentence, your thoughts. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree with what I'm saying? And that's what I want you to do in the journal section of Blackboard. And I want to mention a Facebook post that I read this morning. This is a picture of the Facebook page of a young lady named Julianne Nicole. Julianne Nicole is an ICU nurse. ICU means intensive care unit. And she is taking care of COVID-19 patients. And many of these patients are dying right in front of her eyes, even as she is taking care of them. And they don't really know yet how to take care of COVID-19 patients because the coronavirus is a novel coronavirus. It's new, so our bodies don't have defenses for it. And the doctors don't really know what medicines might work, what treatments might work. So they're innovating as they go on. And Julianne wrote a Facebook post that was incredibly powerful and incredibly beautiful. And the last time I looked, the Facebook post had been shared something like 7,000 times. And I'm sure by now it's been shared even more times. And why I'm telling you about this is because Julianne Nicole is an excellent writer. And through her writing, she is able to reach thousands of people with the story of what's going on in an ICU ward in a hospital. Many people have no idea what's going on with COVID-19. Some people are denying that it even exists. But this woman, because she writes so well, is able to communicate what's going on in hospitals. And I put Julianne Nicole's post in the discussion section of the Blackboard page for our class. So I hope you'll have a look and see what really great writing looks like. This guy's a football player, or maybe he's a model, I don't know, because I don't follow football. But to get to where he is, he had to work very hard. And I know that sports fans know that if you want to be a good football player, you have to work incredibly hard. You have to do push-ups, you have to do sit-ups, you have to do squats. You have to show up day after day after day in the heat, in the rain, in the sun. That kind of hard work pays off. If you want to be a good writer, you're going to have to work hard. If you're not willing to do the work, you will not enjoy the rewards, and you will not be able to compel people with your voice. Sometimes students come to class looking kind of like this guy, pissed off, angry, bad attitude, staring at the teacher, misbehaving, coming late, handing work in late. What prompts all these bad attitudes? Some of it is fear. Some people are afraid of writing. Some of it is anger or frustration. That feeling of, I can't do this. Other people can do this and other people can do it well, but I can't do it. And some of it is just, I'm in a bad mood. When you approach writing with fear or with anger or with disrespect for the teacher, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're sabotaging yourself. You're dragging yourself down. You're undermining yourself. Don't do that. It's not helpful. You're not hurting the teacher. You're hurting yourself. You're sawing off the branch that you're sitting on. A bad attitude is like a flat tire. You can't go anywhere till you change it. So if you want to be a good writer, I recommend getting rid of all that baggage. Just throwing it away. Throw away the fear. Throw away the anger. Throw away being pissed off at your teacher. Let it go. Just open your hand and release the fear, the anger, the bad attitude. Let it go. It's not helping you. Let it go. Just let it all go. Release it. Okay, I'm not a psychotherapist and I can't help you with, some of this anger or fear that you feel about writing. But I am a writing teacher and I can make a couple suggestions. Want to be a better writer? Before you go into your writing class, do the rose petal meditation. Close your eyes and imagine rose petals falling on your head and on your teacher's head and on your fellow student's head. The rose petal meditation. Another thing that really, really helps with bad attitudes is gratitude. Take an attitude of gratitude. Think of 3 things you're grateful for. So if you're taking notes, as I asked you to take notes, we've got 36 slides. I wanted you to jot down something for each slide. This is slide number 20. What I want you to do right now is just write down 5 things that you're grateful for. And they don't have to be big things. You don't have to win the lottery. Are you grateful for coffee? Are you grateful for your eyes, for eyesight? Are you grateful for your hands, that you can hold a pen and write? I've had students who cannot do that. I have had students who could not hold a pen and write, but you can. Are you grateful for your mind that can think clearly? Are you grateful for your family? Are you grateful for M&Ms? Are you grateful for living in the United States, the richest country in the world? Give me 5 things that you're grateful for. This brainstorming technique is called clustering. We talked about it in class. You write something in the middle of the page and you draw a circle around it, and then you write every thought that comes to your head. So this person's clustering, brainstorming about gratitude. I'm grateful for bees. I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for sunshine. I'm grateful for clean air. Let's talk about what are the qualities that make a great writer. And we're on slide 22. So if you want to put number 22, jot down, these are my thoughts. You don't have to agree with me. If you disagree, you can go ahead and put that in your notes. To be a good writer requires qualities that no one else can give you. To be a good writer requires courage. You have to be willing to put your thoughts down on the page. What if people don't like your thoughts? What if people think your thoughts are stupid? What if people argue with you? What if people tell your friends that you have bad ideas? What if you get made fun of? That's why it takes courage to be a writer, to put your thoughts on the page. To be a good writer, you have to be willing to take risks. You have to jump. Nobody else can jump for you. Nobody else can put your thoughts on the page. You have to take your head and your heart and put them both on the page. Even if you think your thoughts are stupid, even if you think your thoughts are wrong, even if you think your thoughts are boring, even if you think people will make fun of you, even if powerful people have told you that your thoughts and feelings don't matter or that your perceptions are wrong, you have to pay attention to other people and you have to pay attention to yourself, and then you have to jump. You have to do all those things to be a good writer. Writing is hard work. A good writer never surrenders a piece of writing until he's read it over and over and over. Are you willing to put in the time to do that? To read something you've written 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, fixing errors, using the best words, looking for the music in the piece. Are you willing to do that? Good writers also have to read every day. You have to read others' words before you can contribute to the conversation. Because you're not writing by yourself. You're writing as part of a stream of words that are all over the planet. People all over the planet are writing right now, and they're saying what they think, and you're participating in that. And you're also participating in people listening to what others think. To be a good writer, you have to use different qualities in your brain. And sometimes people describe these different qualities as left brain and right brain. And this is not exactly how the brain works, but it's just a way that we speak. We say that the left brain is analytical, detailed oriented. It sequences items in order. It's rational. It's cautious. It plans. It's about math. It's about science. The right brain is about intuition. It's about holistic perception. That means you perceive the whole. You don't perceive the details. You don't say, oh, that's a woman with blue eyes. You say, oh, that's a beautiful woman. You don't recognize the blue eyes. You just recognize the whole, the beauty. You are emotional, impulsive, creative, imaginative. That's the right brain. You have to be both of those things to be a good writer. You need to be free, spontaneous, uncontrolled, unafraid, flowing. And then you need to be obedient, restrained, controlled, and cautious. So first, when you first write your rough draft, you're very right-brained. You're just throwing words down on the page. And these images are meant to represent that process. You're a volcano. You're exploding. You're a thunderstorm. You're rain coming down from heaven. You're an opera singer. Your voice is going out through the entire theater. You're an ocean wave, unstoppable. You're a geyser, just bursting up out of the ground. That's what you do first. You write without hesitation. While doing this, you don't think about rules. You don't think about spelling or grammar. You don't think about whether people will like what you wrote or not. You do not judge whether what you are writing makes sense. You just write. If you're afraid that your writing is bad, fine, write a bad first draft. You have to be brave enough to write a bad first draft. You have to love yourself enough to write a bad first draft. If you can't think of what to write, try brainstorming. That's how you start. And if you find that you're getting frustrated and you can't think of what to write down, go back to these questions. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Who, what, when, where, why, how. If you're writing about the future, who will be part of your life in the future? What will you be doing in the future? When in the future are we talking about? Where will you be living? Why will you be living there? How are you going to be making your living? Just keep answering those questions over and over and over and over. Only after you have completely exhausted yourself and gotten everything down on the page, then you look at what you have written. Ask yourself, what would someone who disagrees with you say? Have you adduced enough facts to support your position? Go through each sentence and adduce at least one fact to support each sentence. What would a child say about what you wrote? Respond to that child. What would an older person say about what you wrote? Respond to the older person. If you are a woman, what would a man say? If you are a man, what would a woman say? If you're a Democrat, what would a Republican say? Did you write something complicated? Break it down into something simpler. If you are describing something, close your eyes and imagine what it is you are describing. What do you see, smell, hear, feel, and taste? Describe each one of those sensations. If you're really angry about this topic, what would you say? If you were really sad about this topic, what would you say? What if you thought all this was pretty funny? Get all that down on the page. Then, after you're finished brainstorming, you put everything aside. You go and you do something else. You go for a walk, you go swimming, you do something physical. You clean the house. You're not using your brain. You're doing something physical. This is a key step in writing. Please put this in your notes. Once again, you've got 36 slides. I want to see 36 sets of notes. After you've done your brainstorming writing, where you're just writing freely, you need to do something with your body. You need to do something physical. You need to rest your brain. Don't keep writing. Give it a break. Then you come back. Ideally, you wait at least 24 hours. It's then that you exercise what we call the left side of the brain, the rational, controlled side of the brain, the side of the brain that follows rules. You become like a scientist. You analyze. You put things together that are like each other. You put all the sentences that describe the past in one part. You put all the sentences that are about the future in another part. You clean things up like a cleaning woman. You follow the rules. You put the periods in the right place. You put the commas in the right place. You put the semicolon in the right place. Always delete 10% of what you wrote before you hand it in. Always. If you've done your free writing correctly, you've definitely got at least 10% more than you need. Delete at least 10% of it. Delete, I think, I feel, in my opinion. Don't use passive voice unless absolutely necessary. Bob was punched by Jim. That's passive voice. We talked about it in class. Change it to active voice. Jim punched Bob. Find your best sentence and make sure all your sentences are as good as that best sentence. Check your spelling. Don't make anybody else read something that you wrote with spelling errors in it. That's lazy and sloppy. Give yourself a good beginning and a good conclusion. A good first sentence, a powerful first sentence, and a powerful final sentence. Find a picture of an audience. Notice in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, there's a picture of an audience. Find a picture of an audience and put it on your computer screen and read what you wrote to the audience out loud. If you read your writing out loud, even just in front of a picture of an audience, you will find your own errors. Is that a lot of work? Yes, that's a lot of work. Are you willing to do that work? If the answer is no, then you're a bad writer and you're never going to get any better. If you're willing to do this work, you will be a good writer and you will get attention and you will get praise and you will be successful. Here's a picture of a little girl named Nusrat. She is homeless. There are many homeless people in India, her country. They just live on the street. They sleep on the street. They eat on the street. They use the street as their bathroom. They're very, very poor. And she is reading and she is writing because her parents are smart enough to know that reading and writing are power. And they want their little girl to have that power. If this little girl is homeless on the street and can do the work necessary to be a good writer, then so can an American in an American school, which is why I really have no patience when students say to me, oh, I need to hand this in late. Yeah, I don't think so. If you're not willing to do the work, then don't waste time. Here is a couple, I think this is from Bolivia or Peru, reading and writing. And here are some girls in a Muslim country in Africa, reading and writing. Putting your thoughts down on a page, there is no more powerful act. Or on a computer screen. Could be on a piece of paper, could be on a computer screen. There's nothing more powerful or more beautiful. Because writing is really magic.